Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to add and subtract rational expressions. We've already multiplied it and divided. One thing when we are doing today is adding and subtracting with like denominators, meaning the bottom is going to be the same. So your assignment today is going to be a PDF. It has 3 problems on it. Make sure you show work on paper and upload that to Google Classroom. Okay, here we go. And so before we begin, I want to go ahead and do a real quick review of how do we add fractions when they're just plain numbers, okay? And then we'll kick it up a notch. And if you didn't know, expressions means it has variables, x's, and whatever other kind of variable you wanted to use. All right, so we're going to go ahead and first thing hopefully you notice is they have a common denominator. They both have a bottom of 7. And here is where most people make their mistake. Just don't do anything to the bottom. You're just going to leave that 7 on the bottom. And what you're going to do to the top, since they have the same denominator, that means that these fractions are in love, and you're going to go ahead and just combine the tops. So you do 5 plus 1, which is just 6, and that is you adding those fractions together. All right, so same thing here with subtraction. They have the same denominator of 7, so I'm just going to put it over 7. And what I like to do is instead of putting the negative between them, I go ahead and I distribute that negative and put it on I basically just move it and put it on the 6, and then that becomes a positive. So then we have a common denominator. These fractions are in love. And so we're just going to combine the tops, and we're going to do 2 minus 6, and that's going to be a negative 4. All right, let's try that again. And that's just going to be a negative 4. And so that is subtracting fractions. All right, so now we're going to apply that same kind of concept to our expressions, rational expressions. Okay, here's the step. Check for like denominators, factor the bottoms only if possible. Then you're going to just add combine like terms on the top. That's what the numerator is. Subtracting, don't forget to add your parentheses and then distribute that negative. And then step 5 is factor the top if possible. A lot of times it's not possible. And then you cancel like factors. All right, moving right along. Don't forget to take notes and upload them to Google Classroom. So that is an expectation. So please make sure you do that. All right, so what I highly recommend you do is always make sure you know what you're doing. So this says we're going to add these 2 things together. How do you know? It has a big plus sign there. All right, and then look, oh hey, we have an x on the bottom. We have an x on the bottom here. They have a common denominator of x. We can't factor that, so we're going to move right along. So I'm just going to rewrite this 2x minus 7 over x, and we're going to add the 8x over our x. And since they have a common denominator, these 2 fractions are in love, and we're just going to combine the tops. So I'm just going to write my x that's on the bottom, because that's our denominator. You don't add the bottoms, you only add the tops. And then we want to make sure we only combine our like terms. So we're going to add 2x plus 8x, so we get 10x. And then don't forget that negative 7 does not have a like term, so we just bring it down. And that is it, adding those 2 rational expressions. The top you might want to try and factor, but we can't. We do not have anything that we can combine or factor out. So we're just going to leave it like that. All right, here's the next one. Once again, we're going to go ahead and add these together. And they have a common denominator of x plus 2. So I'm going to rewrite it. We're going to do x plus 7 over x plus 2. And then we're going to do plus 3x plus 4 over x plus 2. And since they have a common denominator, they're in love, and we're going to combine the tops only. I'm going to just go ahead and leave my x plus 2 on the bottom. And so be careful, you got to combine like terms. So we're going to combine the 1x and the 3x and get 4x. And then the other like term is going to be the 7 and 4 becomes a plus 11. Can't factor anything, so we are done. Okay. All right, so that's it for this video. Please make sure you watch the next video for subtraction. That one's the most important, especially since essential question is what is the extra step when subtracting rational expressions. So make sure you watch the next video as well as we talk about a little bit more about factoring. Thanks for watching.